let me ask you a couple questions about that, because I know that's a decision. I was an accounting major in college, so,
Okay.
a
Very
similar
similar.
trajectory. And I'd be curious to get your thoughts on, making that break. I mean, did you get pushback from your parents? Presumably they probably helped you through college. They spent all this money on this finance degree, and now you're just, headed off to New York. Your friends probably were rolling their eyes. And I'm just speaking from experience here, because that's what my friends were doing. I say, hey, I'm just going to Hollywood. So maybe you could talk about that. Like, how did you get through that? Did you question your decision, and sort of what was your thought process? Because I know there's people listening to this podcast that are probably in that similar situation.
I don't know. It's hard to describe. I didn't really have a lot of pushback or anything. I was already kind of, I don't know. My parents are my aunt and uncle, and they're basically, that's not my mom and dad. And I'm not close to my dad. My mom's not around anymore. So I don't really have this parental unit governing me, or I didn't by then. Mm-hmm. So yeah, my aunt and uncle are kind of parental figures, and like, I can rely on them, but they're not bearing down on me. They're not trying to steer me in any direction. They were just kind of like, okay, that's what you're doing. That's interesting. Where'd that come from? Went to school for finance. So business was where the trajectory I was on. And I had done little modeling stuff through college, local entertainment magazines, jewelry ads, whatever. And some pictures got to an agent in New York right around when I was finishing school. And I flew out there, met with them, stayed for a couple weeks. I had a buddy that lived in Hell's Kitchen in Manhattan, and that went okay. So there was like a 6-month stint where I was working for a finance firm back in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio, and flying out for a week or two a month to New York to do that. Mm-hmm. It went okay, and my lease ran up in my apartment back in Ohio, and I hated what I was doing for that firm. I was working as a financial advisor. I can give you a long, boring story about that, but I'll spare you. And decided, what the hell, you're only young once, and literally went in on a Saturday, stacked all my client files up my boss's desk, letter thanking her for everything, left the keys, drove to New York for that stuff. So yeah, I was there for a couple months. So I really honestly didn't get a lot of pushback on it. And maybe, I honestly, if I had, maybe I wouldn't have done it. And honestly, that's kind of, I'm thankful that I didn't have that and didn't have to overcome that, because it was just kind of I don't like this opportunity presented itself. It gets me out of Ohio. That's probably a plus. So why not go try it and see what happens, Yeah. So it was very kind of whimsical, I suppose. It wasn't, there wasn't a long lead time on the decision for people to give me flack, really.
Yeah. And that's part of just being young. You kind of have those opportunities to try. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Selling Your Screenplay podcast. If you'd like to hear the full interview, just go to sellingyourscreenplay.com/podcasts. Or to go directly to the episode, just use the link in the show notes. Thanks for watching.